Hi, it's Saturday, August 17th, 2019, and this is week 3 of the Noom weight loss program. So, usually I do these videos on a Sunday. I decided to do it an hour a day earlier on a Saturday. Tonight I have dinner with some friends and etc. So, didn't want that to kind of skew my results tomorrow when I wake up being a bit heavier from eating tonight. So, I decided just to go ahead and to film today and then kind of relax on Sunday. I'm going to start by the first part of this video talking about the actual weight loss and how I'm feeling. And the second part, I'll talk about the app and the program itself and also give you a hint on how you can possibly save some money the way my sister did and the way I wish I had done. But let's start off as I usually do on the stats. My current weight is 253.8 pounds. That is a 1 week loss of 2.4 pounds, and which is a total loss of 10.6 pounds for 3 weeks. I think that's respectable. So if you look on if we take a look at the actual chart, let me bring that up. You can see that whenever I don't exercise, so you can see on 8/12, which is a Monday, and on which is at 8/5, which was also Monday, which is the day I usually don't do my incumbent bike and exercise, I gain about a pound, pound and a half. Now I thought this was a bit curious, so I weighed myself on the day I was going to do the incumbent bike before I did it, and I also weighed myself afterwards, after the incumbent bike, and I found that I lost almost 2 pounds. That was between August 12th and August 13th. Now, I'm wondering why this is. And the only thing I could think of is that your body needs time to digest your food. Maybe the food is sitting kind of in your digestion path and it hasn't been quite consumed yet by energy throughout the day. The movement of the incumbent bike helps the sweat. I'm sure some of it is sweat loss, loss due to sweat. But I don't think I can lose 2 pounds sweating. Maybe so. Maybe so. I did ask my Noom coach why this was. And, she did respond that in a generic way that weight can fluctuate 1 to 3 pounds a day due to water intake, food intake, sweating, movement, etc. Yeah, but this is constantly happening. And I just wish that the coach would give a little bit more insight and a little bit more probing. Okay, so what did you do that day? What happened? So normally what happens is this. It's not very scientific, and maybe because they're not actual certified nutritionists or health experts, they can't speculate. Could be the reason why. But again, that's what I thought they're there for, is to help you understand how this is all changing, other than asking you generic questions, which seems to add very little value. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good throughout the week. I'm feeling good that I'm losing the weight. Slower than I would like, but this is a calorie counting program rather than a MetaFast where you would cut the calories quite a lot. Again, I'm not feeling as hungry as I was or attempting to cheat on a MetaFast program, or sorry, as I was on a MetaFast program. On the Noom program or counting calories, if I'm going to cheat, I'm going to cheat within the amount of calories that I'm allotted. If I'm up there, I'm done. And usually I'm filled satiated enough or satiated enough that I don't need to cheat. So one thing I did notice is that my heartbeat is quite low. Slow maybe is the right word. When I'm resting, really resting, say just watching TV and sitting in a chair, after a while, my heartbeat can go down to about 50, 52. Just sitting and watching TV. I did measure it. You can see it on the screen there with my Apple Watch. I got as low as 42 while I was sleeping one night when I tracked. So I was a little bit concerned. I don't think this is necessarily because of the Noom program or losing weight. I think it's because I'm just exercising 6 times a week, and I'm exercising quite rigorously, 30 minutes, 6 times a week on a recumbent bike, getting my heart rate up to around 150, 160 at certain points, not continuously, but at the peak, around 150, 160. I did visit the doctor. She said that as long as I don't feel out of breath or fainting or have any kind of spells like that. She checked my blood pressure. Blood pressure was fine. I think it was 118 over 66. And that all looked fine. But she said, hey, you haven't had a physical for a while. Why not come in for a physical next week? And we'll even do the electrocardiogram on you test at the same time just to make sure everything's fine. I said, fine, yeah, why not? Says I needed a physical, come in and we'll see what happens and I'll report back if there is anything of concern. Now let's talk about the app and the program overall. The group chat finally appeared as I predicted. They kind of what did they kind of teased it the day before your full membership kicks in, before you pay for the 4 months or whatever you're paying. And they said, hey, the group chat starts tomorrow. And I thought, okay, maybe this will be better than the single chat I have with the coach. Nah, it wasn't. Hey, hi, I'm your coach. Next thing you know, you get this group chat, shows up on your app, and it's a bit odd in how this chat function works. So they have topics in the chat, and it scrolls up, and then when you hit a topic, you can then see the topics, the discussion around that topic. You can post a topic, so look, I'll talk about it in a moment, and then people can reply to it by hitting that topic and going over. I find the whole thing of trying to do a meaningful discussion on an app, on a phone, a little bit tedious because you have to type on this with a small keypad. I'd rather be on a computer. I wish they had an option where you can do this on a website, which the MyFitnessPal does. But anyway, the group chat started off as, hey, introduce yourself. Everybody put a nice photo of themselves, probably the best photo they have of themselves. I did a little joke and put a little Breaking Bad photo. I'll show you right here. And said, hey, I'm in a secluded hideaway space. I'm not moving much. I'm at my computer all day because of the government's watching me. So I thought I'd do the Noom program. But I did eventually put my real photo on there and told them it was a joke. Nobody seems, well, you can't reply. You can't reply to a specific comment that somebody does in this thread because there's no reply function. Your comment goes down to or maybe up to the top, and so you don't know who you're replying to. So I find it a bit confusing on how this thing works. It's not like your Facebook chat feed or any kind of chat program or it's a discussion forum program I've seen before. I think they need to do some work on that. Don't know, maybe my joke didn't come across very well. Maybe not. Mostly women. I tried to find who was in the chat and who was in the group chat. There was no obvious way, but I'll show you now. When you're in a group chat, you'll see these two icons at the top. There's an envelope icon. That's to email somebody or direct message someone. You need to click that, and voila, I'm not going to show you everybody because for privacy reasons, you will see everybody, how many people's in the group, their name, and how many people. And again, mostly, I would say out of the 40-something people in my group, probably 33, 35 of them are women. No big deal, just in case people were curious about what the makeup of the chat is, of the group chat is. I did post a question about scales. The reason being is that when I went to the doctor, they have one of those balancing scales. I don't know what they call it, but where they slide the weight over, and it seems to be a little bit more scientific. It's a scale that I used in high school when we actually were weighing us for weight classes in wrestling. So I think that's probably more accurate than a generic digital scale. And I found their scale shows me about 6 to 7 pounds lighter than my home scale, believe it or not. I actually went to my company's gym and asked if I could use their scale, and they've got one of those balancing scales and had the exact same weight as the doctor had, which was about 152, 151. And that was with clothes on and phone in the pocket, everything. So I did put a post. I said, hey, just curious, what are you all using for scales? I'd like to find something that's a little bit more accurate. Somebody replied to that and said, yeah, I'm curious about this too. My scale fluctuates every day, which I find a bit bizarre. And nobody responded. Not even the group coach didn't even respond. You would think that these people would have a little bit more gauging and say, nobody's responded to this. This is easy. I use an X scale. If they're supposed coach, you would think they would say, this is what I use. Or you want to look for a scale that does this or certified that. Nothing. So I'm really scratching my head on some of this coaching stuff. In fact, I started getting so suspicious about these coaches. I asked my coach point blank, what's her experience around health and nutrition? And the first answer she gave me, I'll put it up on screen, and I don't have it handy, but I'll add it to the video. It was something around all our coaches bring to the table a variety of experiences. Aren't we so great because you can lean on us and ask us questions? And I said, thank you, but what's your experience? I didn't ask about everybody's experience. And she says if I'm remembering correctly, but you'll see it there on the screen, something around she has so many years of coaching people. That was still too generic to me. I wanted to hear that she's a certified nutritionist or what have you. Nothing. And I didn't want to press her, embarrass her anymore. And as you can see, I'm hiding her chat name. But I'm starting to wonder what value these supposed coaches, bring to the table. They're not really answering questions. They're just going through the motions. Here's the question for the day. I'm finding it that I'm also going through the blurb. Hey, post your XYZ experience. It brings you right to group chat. I don't have any interest in doing this if there's not going to be any interaction. You got to interact with me, coaches, if you want me to post something. If you're just going to give me generic responses and generic questions, I don't feel there's a relationship there. There's no reason for me to post anything. So whenever I'm asked from the personal coach about something, I'll give her a generic answer back. Oh, hey, fantastic, great job. Have you even looked at how much weight I've lost or even commented on it? Anyway, I just really don't, you can see I'm frustrated, really don't understand much about this. Now, give you a big hint if you're interested in still going on with this program, and maybe for some of you, this type of, somewhat interaction and blurbs and things like that are maybe you're interested in that. So let me tell you a little bit how you can save some money possibly. Maybe they don't do it for everybody, but they did it for my sister. My sister started the program. She canceled in 2 weeks' time, right before her time was up. And lo and behold, I'll put it up on the screen, she got this. We totally understand. If this makes staying with Noom any easier, we'd like to change your subscription to a no-commitment monthly plan for $19 per month. Huh. Thanks, Noom. $19 per month. She wants to quit. I continued. I didn't quit, although I did not respond to you very quickly. You cut it my price from like $150, $175 for 4 months to $100. That puts me at $25 a month, whereas my sister, and that's for 4 months committed. And now my sister, who wanted to quit the program, is paying $6 cheaper, and she has no commitment. It really makes me wonder about the integrity of the people running this program, and how much lower they would go every time you decide to quit or do something. So try it, see if it works for you. If you haven't started the program already, sorry if you have. I just found this out from my sister now. To me, it seems like a bit of a ripoff when they do something like that. And MyFitnessPal, $50 a year, with all the blurbs and the coaching and stuff. From the coaching, as so far, I've found maybe I get 5%, 10% of the time, something of value. Maybe. The blurbs, I get about 10, 15% of the value. Let me talk a little bit about these blurbs. I don't know what they're called, the stories or whatever. I really wish they would quit with trying to be corny or silly or funny or whatever. It just ruins the whole experience for me. Maybe the millennials like this cutesy stuff, and it's just not. For example, I'm going to show you what they talked about as far as scientific journals and scientists. They start off each of these 3 paragraphs, as you can see. The nerds at the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. The geeks at the University of Tel Aviv. The pointy heads at the blah, blah, blah. Hey, are you trying to be funny? You're putting these people down. They're scientists. And by the way, what's with all these freaking hashtags? Hashtag less grilling, less hungry. These things are all private blurbs. This doesn't, from what I understand, those aren't going to be searched by Twitter, nobody. So why are you using, what's with the hashtags? I'll show you some more here. Now they're about, hey, the best scientific journals, they'll give them some respect. Hashtag Noomers deserve only the best. Tons of databases. Hashtag Noomers love data. I don't get it. If this is the way the millennials speak, maybe, or and you're working for me and you start putting hashtags in your reports like this, you're not going to be doing reports for me much longer. And finally, on tracking calories, I continue to find it a pain in the butt to do this with the Noom app for quite a few reasons. First of all, 40 to 50% of the time, maybe more, the calories are incorrect. And I'm tired of going through and clicking there's a problem and not seeing any updates. It's kind of like pressing those crosswalk buttons in some countries, in the United States at least, expecting that the crosswalk will change faster. I don't see anything happening with this saying there's a problem with the calories. They just need to go through the database and rip it out and put a new one in, or pay MyFitnessPal to use theirs, one or the other. At the end of the day, there is no way for you to check calories on any food, because the only way you can see them is I'm going to do dinner. You tap dinner. You then type in a food or you scan something and it will show you the calories. Once you finished your day, you can't do it. The whole thing's locked. There's no way to search. So if I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to plan for my meals tomorrow? What are the calories? If I wanted to type in something, hot dog or ham sandwich, I know those aren't the greatest examples of healthy food, but let's just say I wanted to do that and I don't want to get up and start scanning foods and looking at packages. It's inconvenient. Why not have a little search somewhere to search it a lot more easily? Finally, as far as, I think last week I talked about contacting technical support about whether I should really be pull in the active calorie data, i.e. exercises. Maybe it's not i.e., maybe it's partly exercises, and how that's confusing the calories consumed, because active calories on the watch is not just exercise, but how much you move, and there's the challenges with that, and why not just pull in exercise? Maybe I should just do it manually. And he wrote back, and I'll show you on the screen, he agreed with me. Most people just type it in manually. And it took a week to get a response. A week. And I'm paying for this app, and I'm getting a response in a week. It's just unacceptable. So I guess you all can see that I'm a bit frustrated with this program. I guess I wouldn't be so frustrated if I were doing this with a lot cheaper, maybe half the price. But the tracking of calories are incorrect. The coaches aren't adding much value. I'm finding some nuggets of good information around the blurbs, but not that much. The whole hashtag stuff, get out. Stop trying to be funny. And it's becoming tedious to use it, to be honest. The only thing I like to do is go in and track my calories and my food. But that's the same thing. Track how much I consume that day and how much I burn with the exercise. And that leads me back to basically the same thing I was doing with the MyFitnessPal. Okay, but that's it. So be it. I paid for the full months. We'll continue to go. If I see something better, I'll let you know. But at the moment, that's where I stand. And that's it. And I'll see you 1 week from today.